pimple patch. This was a pore that I couldn't stop touching, so now it's a proper wound. But I picked these up at the pharmacy and it has gotten so much better just over the night, so I can recommend these. But I received the most nice package a few weeks ago and I haven't had the opportunity to show you. It's from this Japanese brand called Bivaku. Not sponsored, but I did get this gifted. The necklace itself has its own packaging, and you know, rightfully so, because it's honestly one of the most beautiful necklaces. No, I messed it up a bit. And these are real Japanese pearls. I'm gonna show you what it looks like. Maybe this isn't the best top, actually. Oh my god, how pretty is that? These are heavily gold plated. Truly beautiful. This week we're going to Seoul. If you haven't subscribed already, my name is Sylvia. I'm Swedish and Italian. I normally live in Rome, but now I'm on an exchange in Tokyo. So Seoul has been one of my top travel destinations, like bucket list places, for a long time because I got obsessed with Korean food watching Mangshi. I haven't seen Mangshi, like I'll link her channel in the description box, but she's a Korean chef. She's an icon. The plan initially for me was to go on a 1-week trip to China. But the story has been like haunting me for the past like week, and now I'm over it. Digested, so I'm gonna tell you once and then I'm never gonna speak about this again because I feel like I told so many people about it already. But it was honestly like the most traumatizing experience at the airport. Yeah, because I did have a ticket to go to Beijing, a train from Beijing to Shanghai, and I was gonna stay in Shanghai and I was gonna see the Great Wall. I was gonna see another smaller city with canals and outside of Shanghai, and it's very packed, like to the brim. But basically what happened is usually you need a visa. Now you don't. You can stay for 10 days. So I was like, yeah, girl, like let me book the flight and get on my trip. Well, there was a lady at the airport who was not gonna endorse my dream of going to China. Gonna check in and she refused me. You know, there was a certain language barrier, not gonna lie, but eventually like 30 minutes later, after discussing with her and her colleague and them printing out like this long facts document, basically in the fine text, and I obviously didn't look at this that properly before booking my ticket, which was very stupid, and I don't think I'm ever gonna trust the visa-free entries ever again. I can go to China visa-free, but my flight back has to go through a third country. Now don't ask me about this. I don't understand like the logics behind this. I was like in a state of panic because I started to see my China dream slip away. If I wasn't sweaty before, I was sweaty now. Basically what you're saying to me, if I just buy a new ticket from Shanghai that stops in another country, it would have been fine. And this upsets me so much because the only reason why I had a direct flight is because I spent so much time finding a cheap direct flight from Shanghai to Tokyo because I wanted to arrive back smoothly because I knew I was gonna have a long day of classes the day after. State of panic, I'm like, okay, but let me just book a new flight. Like I found one here. Flight from Shanghai has a layover in Seoul. If I book this one, can you get me checked in? And at this point, I think she just didn't want to deal with me, and she was basically like, no, it's too late. And I'm like, but why is it too late? Like, it's over an hour until departure. I only have hand luggage. Like, I'll book it right now. It takes me 2 minutes on Skyscanner, like literally 2 minutes. I'll have the proof. I give you a ticket and you check me in. She's like,
no, like the check-in is closing in 15 minutes.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like in 15 minutes. Like, this was an hour before departure. And I have, after this, also found out that the check-in actually only closes 40 minutes before with this airline. So
that's suspicious.
So eventually I just realized, accept the fact that I'm gonna miss this flight, but I'm not giving up yet. I'm like, I'm gonna get to Beijing and check into my hotel today. So I go over to the counter opposite that has a later flight, and this is still like more than 2 hours away. So I speak with the lady there. I'm just like, okay, just to confirm, this is what happened right there. Can you just confirm that if I get a new flight, can you get me on this one? And she's like, yeah. After a while, like, she had to make phone call, like, you know, it just, time was slipping away again. And she's like, yeah, but you're fine, take your time, just book the ticket online and we're gonna check you in. And I'm like, okay, I'll just book the ticket. So I go in on Skyscanner. I'm like, okay, I'll book the ticket to Beijing and I'll book the new ticket from Shanghai. I enter all my details, I proceed to pay, and the flight is not available anymore. And it basically says you can't book tickets 2 hours in advance online. I couldn't book it, so I go to the counter. I'm like, please, can you book me on this flight? Like, I'm not able to do it online. And she's like,
no, we don't sell tickets.
So basically, airlines nowadays don't sell tickets at the counter. At that point, I just gave up and I realized that China is not gonna happen for me right now, you know. I'm talking about it lightly, but this was like the most traumatic experience ever, going back from the airport, like with your luggage, like with your packed luggage, and knowing like that didn't happen. I've been in the process of trying to get my money back and also like talk with the airline about like this lady kind of refusing me check-in, even though there was like a very solid solution in front of us. In my, I was gonna say postpartum depression, like in my post travel depression, I booked a flight to Seoul, and that's where we're going. I can't live with the disappointment of the trip. So we're going to Seoul, and that was my story time, and here's the rest of it. I just wanted to give you a super brief update. This is my first official day. I arrived yesterday in Seoul. I actually went to bed super early yesterday. I arrived like in late afternoon. I had some dinner close by. So when I woke up this morning, I had slept like 12 hours and I'm super rested, and I got up super early and I had to try this like bagel, non-baked, like no flour bagels, because you know, like gluten intolerant, if anything that comes close to bread, you know, I'm there for it. So we have the entire day. I'm gonna go and do more touristy things today because I want to explore the more old village and also see some of the palaces, mainly because it's going to be really good weather today, so I think it's good to get that out of the way, while tomorrow and Saturday is still gonna be warm but a bit more unpredictable. So I'm more down to, you know, go to some restaurants, you know, just chill. So today I had my bagel. I'm sitting in this super cute park. I have no idea where I am, and I'm just gonna hop on a bus I saw. It takes you right away to the palace. gone to this one, which I'm sitting outside of, but it was super beautiful. And then I went, so after I had my bagel, I passed by this like coffee shop, and there were so many Koreans there, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna have one. And they had decaf, which I feel like most cafes in Japan, or at least in Tokyo, don't. So I had a decaf soy latte with hazelnut, and it was so good. And then I took a bus, I went to the temple, and after the temple I walked to this like in the traditional village, and then I went to a coffee shop and I ordered this super delicious tea that I finished by now. And then I got to this temple, which I probably should have gone to the first time, and you had to wait for like a slot to enter the garden, and I'm mainly here for the garden actually, so now I'm waiting for my time. Yeah, so I have my entry slot at 2 and it's like an hour away, so I think I'm gonna just chill. I need to edit some stuff. I'm gonna do that now before my phone dies, and then I'm gonna go pick up like a portable charger somewhere. But yeah, I'm gonna do the secret garden, and then I found this like dumpling place, and I know it's not traditional Korean, but it's very rare to find a dumpling place that makes like that specializes in buckwheat. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna head to a neighborhood. What the hell is going on? Head to a more like hipster, cute neighborhood, and maybe go for my third ice drink for the day. I don't know, but I'm gonna stay pretty close by because since it's such a beautiful day, I really want to see the sunset. So I picked out like a sunset spot, so I'm gonna head there as well. So yeah, that was a quick check-in from me.
So my plan for the day was to go to a permanent collection at one of the museums, and by mistake I ended up at the wrong location and I ended up at this special exhibition, which was really nice but not what I had planned. So the thing is, if I hadn't gone there, like even if it was the wrong place, I wouldn't have picked up this postcard. And this postcard featured the Korean folk art called Minwha, and I liked it so much. It was exactly what I wanted to see. I found this temporary exhibition that was also going to end now in June that featured the Korean folk art. It's one of the most beautiful collections or exhibitions I've ever been to, so you know.
Okay guys, I'm standing literally in the most random alleyway. I'm leaving today, hence why it shows I didn't even look myself in the mirror today. But my flight is at 4 in the afternoon, so I had some time and I went to another rice bagel shop, and oh my god you guys, it's literally gluten-free heaven because they're 100% like made of rice and they're so delicious. And I had one that was like salted butter and then honey ricotta, and I also bought 2 to take back to Tokyo, and this crazy like cinnamon roll rice bagel thing. And then I had ordered a dirty shy, and I'm taking that takeaway because I was bitter yesterday about the weather, and of course today on my day of leaving it's so sunny and so nice, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. I've had such an amazing time here, and even though it was raining yesterday, or like not raining but it was kind of cold, I ended up at the most amazing museum exhibit. So you know, the universe has its ways, and I probably wouldn't have seen that if it was this sunny. And this is my new cap that I got here. The shopping here is really good, by the way.